Okay, so welcome back. We are going to be doing a tier list. Yes, double upload. Woo wee wee. We're gonna be doing a tier list on PvP ultra classes. Now, honestly, if you want my honest opinion before we actually even get into this, every single ultra class in this game could be utilized for PvP in good ways. Every single one of them, if you're a good player, can be utilized. However, what's gonna make your life the most easiest and the most brain dead, I guess we're gonna discuss that today, right? So honestly, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and before we actually get into this, I need you guys to know this is genuinely just my opinion from what I've seen. Okay, genuinely. Again, the reason I say every class can cater towards being the best if you're good players, because there's so many different builds you can actually make in this game, because drops work differently, reforges, enchants. This game isn't linear. It's not like, yes, something's meta and you need to do it. You can go off meta and still wipe the floors of people. It's a diverse game. Let's get into it. All right, so starting off with Hitman. I'm not gonna lie, I'm putting Hitman in S tier. Hitman's really strong, especially if you have certain builds. Hitman is really good, and on the right race, you're honestly just, let's just say right build in general, you're just running circles around your opponent, consistently blasting and hitting them with high damaging skills. Honestly, pretty annoying to deal with, and I mean, what can I really say? High damage output. Similar story with Ancient Champion. On the right build, you can actually run circles around your opponents and still deal high amounts of damage. Again, with how, and it's super hard to catch an Ancient Champion, especially when they're in their mode. Bro, like, it's annoying. It's annoying to have to fight against, but I'd imagine if you're the person on the Ancient Champion build, it's actually pretty fun. Literally running circles around your opponents and dealing high amounts of damage. From what I've seen, it looks crazy. Honestly, we'll just put it in order. Ancient Champion might actually just be above Hitman, if not similar place. Tortured. Now, I haven't seen a bad Tortured build. I've been seeing less people go Tortured in general. I think it's really because the ultra quest for it just feels like a drag to complete, but Tortured has so much combo potential. The builds you can make with it is super good as well. Tortured is actually really good. Again, you may disagree, but I'm putting Tortured up in the S tier rankings as well. Superhuman as well, definitely up there. Guys, remember, we're talking PvP here. Superhuman's actually really good in PvP, very powerful. I actually just fought against one that kind of wiped the floors with me, but I have beat my fair share of Superhumans. Again, depending on the build, Superhuman, very powerful as well. I mean, that kind of correlates to almost every build in this game, like ever. Every ultra class builds matter, but straight brain dead PvP, straight, hey, we're gonna hop in and wipe the floors with you. Superhuman, Tortured, Hitman, Ancient Champion, they really got that. Now we got Witch Doctor. Now, Witch Doctor is definitely player reliant. As in, if the player is bad with Witch Doctor is trash. And if the player's really mastered his kit, Witch Doctor can be really good. Now, with its base kit, I'm actually just going to put it base kit because all of these have a really good base kit. Base kit, I do want to put it low A, high B. I don't know if I'd put it A, because Witch Doctor really just isn't a threat to a good class in general. Like, I don't think any of the S classes are struggling in a 1v1 against Witch Doctor. I don't care how many clones this guy calls in, right? I will say a skilled Witch Doctor, especially in a 1v1 scenario, can easily be A tier, but I think Witch Doctor in general might be B tier in my opinions. If you don't get your clones out, you're not dealing damage. It's very kit, like super kit reliant, whereas these are just brain dead with its kit. But this is like, if you don't get certain things off, you're just not doing anything. You can agree to disagree. Witch Doctor is still pretty good, but it's definitely not S tier, and I wouldn't put it in the high A tiers either. I would put it in like a high B tier, low A tier. So Witch Doctor, to me, some people may disagree, is definitely B tier. Spartan, I'm putting Spartan in S tier. Yes, people have been arguing that it's pretty easy to PB its kit, but we're not talking about if you can or cannot PB. Spartan deals a super high amounts of damage, especially with the spear. As well as that, it's mobile. It's got some good crowd control. And it's high damaging, bro. That's the whole point of the S tiers. It's just kind of switch your brain off and attack, if we're being quite honest with you. Spartan's up there, and on top of that you have your mode, your last resort joint. You get a second chance at life and you go crazy. Spartan's definitely S tier for PvP. Next we have World Sage. Now I have seen some clips of World Sages going crazy, but I don't have a broad perspective on World Sage. Some people are saying it's really good, some people are saying it's really bad. I don't know. I don't think it's good enough to put in S tier from what I've seen, but it's definitely not bad enough to put in B tier either. I think World Sage is definitely an A tier. I could be wrong on this ranking. Just let me know in the comment section down below. But I think from what I've seen, World Sage is definitely A tier. Definitely better than Witch Doctor in my opinion. But each to their own. Dryad might be S tier, high A tier. Now Dryad, I feel like is super underrated. Super underrated. They have good amounts of healing, as well as that they're super tanky. They got some really good CC crowd control. They actually have high amounts of magical damage as well with the poison stuff. They're pretty mobile. They make you sick or they make you vomit. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I don't know if I'd put it S tier or high A tier. I really don't know, you know. I don't know. I've never gone Dryad and I probably never will, but I've seen some super stacked Dryads. I remember when the game came out initially, people were calling Dryad pretty bad. I saw a list that had Dryad on like B, C, D tier, right? But I've seen really good Dryads in game that make Dryad look like an AS tier. So I don't know how valid those lists are till this day, or maybe they've had a change of mind. But I don't think I could put it S tier with the rest of these. Like when you're looking at the S tiers, I just wouldn't put Dryad up there with it, I'll be real. But Dryad is definitely super powerful. Shogun is definitely, I'll put Shogun low A tier. I'm not gonna lie, I'll put Shogun low A tier. It has a lot of combos that you can pull off, very combo reliant. But I can't talk about perfect blocking, because then Spartan would, you know, be put onto the table there. I'm gonna put Shogun up there, put it below Dryad, put it above World Sage. Shinobi, I want to put Shinobi S tier, you know. I do want to put Shinobi S tier, but its kit is a bit too complex for the average player to just hop in and go crazy with. I think Shinobi is one of those, the skill ceiling is a bit too high for me to put it S. Of course, if you're one of those players, Shinobi can almost win every 1v1. If we're being honest, Shinobi can win almost any 1v1 if you're one of those players, right? But I don't think the majority of players are pulling that off with Shinobi. His kit is just too hard. His kit is honestly just too hard. I'm gonna put Shinobi in A tier. You can argue for the S tier in the comment section down below, and there will be a valid argument, but I think the kit's too complex. Like when we're looking at everything in A tier, let's be so honest, these are some of the most brain dead ultra classes in the game, and it's just anyone can hop on them, switch their brains off and go crazy. Shinobi, you really have to be him, right? Fallen Knight, easily A tier, and I'm just gonna put it up on the list a little bit. Fallen Knight, you can argue Fallen Knight for A tier. You can argue Fallen Knight to A tier. The reason why I say you can argue Fallen Knight for A tier is because its kit for PvP isn't that great. The only thing you have is the obscene amounts of healing, and if your build is right, you are quite a bit tanky, right? But its kit compared to the rest of the things on this list, it's not like a bunch of combos you could put off with Fallen Knight. It's pretty straightforward and simple, super simple. But if you compare it to the rest of the classes up here, they just have high burst damage, they have combo potential, they have a bunch of CC crowd control. Fallen Knight doesn't have that. However, with Fallen Knight's sustain alone, you could win almost every 1v1, and the damage is actually pretty decent too. So there's the reason why Fallen Knight is S tier, because it's just super brain dead. Switch your brain off and play the game. Priest for PvP, I'm not speaking ganking, right? If you're going ganking, having a priest is always going to be really good. But like, let's say you're doing gladiators, right? Pulling up to gladiator on a priest, and there's a bunch of all ultras inside the server. You're not beating anyone, in my opinion. except for maybe like a what's the name of it? Except for maybe like a Poseidon Knight, maybe. Priest isn't doing nothing PvP wise, so I'm just gonna slap it here. Damon Smith PvP. I think with the I think with the nerfs it got to the healing with its kit, Damon Smith is a little bit is definitely A tier now. Before the nerfs, I would have said A tier. I mean S tier because the healing was insane, right? But the healing did get nerfed, so I would put Damon Smith in A tier. I'm not gonna lie to you. Where are the rest of the ultra classes? Oh, it reorganized it. Hold on, let me see if I can pull the rest of these guys up here. There we go. World Seeker. We got Boom. Destroyer. Let's put Grand Knight at the top because I want to do this one now. Grand Knight. Now, I've been seeing a lot of debates recently over this. I've never gone Grand Knight class because I've always thought Grand Knight was pretty boring. Excalibur is a weapon that I don't really care for as well, and I wouldn't want to be stuck with that as well. But Grand Knight's combo potential is crazy. You got the lightning stuff, you got the fire stuff, you got Daenkai, you got the ice stuff that literally freezes you in place as it charges towards you. You got the multiple stab joint. Grand Knight actually might be S or A tier. I don't know how high in the S tiers, but it's definitely better than some of the things here. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna put it in S tier, but very low S tier, very low S tier, and it's brain dead, so anyone could really pick it up and just go crazy with it. Coyote, C tier, C tier. It deals no damage. I've seen Freshies tank full combos, ability spam with Coyote. It just deals no damage. I don't see why it hasn't got reworked yet or just buffed in general yet, just to make it more viable for the people who have wasted the time to go Coyote. PvP wise, this is definitely one of the worst. It's right down there with Poseidon Knight in my opinion. Destroyer, I'm gonna put Destroyer in B, above Witch Doctor. Destroyer is definitely not A tier. I don't even need to. I don't need to talk about it. Destroyer is kind of midi. And that's just my opinion, though. You might feel differently, right? Next we have Poseidon Knight. Poseidon Knight deals no damage, bro. Honestly, it's better than Coyote because it's more tanky and there's a whole bunch of combo potential and a lot of crowd control. But Poseidon Knight genuinely blows. Genuinely blows. I'm so sorry. I don't care what you think. I don't think Poseidon Knight's worth the grind. Prowler Rider is so underwhelming. Oh my gosh, Prowler Rider is so underwhelming. On your Prowler, you're just midi. Off your Prowler, you definitely have more damage capabilities in my opinion. But even then, your kit is pretty underwhelming. I'll be so honest. The kit is so underwhelming. I think this needs a rework too. Actually sleeper class. It looks cool and that's about it. Next we have World Seeker. I'm gonna put World Seeker in A. I don't know where in A I'd put it, but I'm gonna put it in A, period, right? World Seeker is actually really good, especially if you have a really good armor pen build. They actually run laps around you. Wraith, I don't know if I'd put Wraith in S or high A. Wraith is actually really good, bro. Wraith is really good. But I don't think it's up there with the best. I really don't think it's up here with the S tiers, but it is good. It is good. It is good. I just don't think it's up there with the best, in my opinion. Kingslayer is actually really good as well. I'll put it somewhere similar to Wraith as well. Again, I'm sorry, I cannot put Kingslayer in the S tier. I just can't. It does have a lot of damage and combo potential. If Kingslayer pulls off a combo on you, it'll probably deal half of your health in one go, right? But at the same time, I don't know. I just wouldn't put it up here. I just feel like these are all so brain dead, and Wraith and Kingslayer need a significant amount of skill to pull off. I don't think it's brain dead enough for me to slap on the S tiers with the rest of these guys, genuinely. And I'm very sure that was the last ultra class. But let me know what you guys think. I know some people may say otherwise. Honestly, I think it's pretty valid. Destroyer is midi. I don't care what anyone says. Witch Doctor is pretty midi too. Witch Doctor is good, but it doesn't compare with the rest of the list, in my opinion. Prowler Rider, Underwhelming as heck. Poseidon Knight and Coyote just deal no damage. That's the reason they're C tier. Forget their kits. They just deal no damage, bro. As cool as they are, Poseidon Knight's actually pretty cool. Coyote is probably one of the coolest things in the game, period, right? But they deal no damage. I don't really feel like they have a place here. And then if you look at a B tier, in my opinion doesn't compare to A tier. And everything in A tier is subjective to change, right? You can easily argue for Dryad, Shinobi, Kingsley, and Wraith to be in S tier. But then you look at S tier and you're like, are they really better than, or are they on the same lane? Not better than, but same lane as Ancient Champion, Fallen Knight, Hitman, Tortured, Superhuman, Spartan, and Grand Knight? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think they're in the same lane. They're powerful, but not in the same lane. But what I said at the start of the video definitely does stand. Every single ultra class in this game, honestly, except for C and D tier, with the right build is formidable. Formidable for sure. But yeah, just let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Peace.